Good morning. Today we are continuing on with those angles and sides and triangles and quadrilaterals. We are working on CO56. I can use the Pythagorean theorem. A Pythagorean theorem is more higher level. Okay, some of what we've been learning was a review from 5th grade. Some of it was new. This is something that we are going to take with us for math for years to come. You need to understand the Pythagorean theorem. So one of the oldest and most famous formulas in mathematics is the Pythagorean theorem. Its use is traced all the way back to 1900 BC, but it is named after Pythagoras, a teacher and philosopher from around 500 BC. The Pythagorean theorem is used to find an unknown side length in a right triangle. So when we have a right triangle and you know two sides, you can find the third side using this formula. It is important. You will want to be putting it on your help sheet when we take the test. There's a lot of important information that need to go onto these help sheets that we're going to be making at the end of the week. This is one of them. So first, it's important to know the parts of a right triangle. A and B are called legs. They form that right angle. We know this is the right angle, so side A and side B are the two sides that connect to form that right angle. So you will always know A and B connect with the right angle. There should be no doodling. We should all have our eyes up on the screen. This is an important formula. We need to understand the parts. So I truly need all eyes up here. It doesn't matter which of the legs we call A and which one we call B. But we just know that A and B, whichever order we put it, form that right angle. This is important. C is the hypotenuse. It's always directly across from that right angle. So C is always across from the right angle. A and B make the right angle. C is across from it. So the Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So you need to write that down. It is important. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So what does it mean to square a number, James? Times it by itself. So let's look at how this works. I'm going to scroll up so we can see better. So we're going to prove that the theorem works with these examples. So I'm going to put my theorem up here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So the first thing I have to figure out is what are my A and B that are going to equal the C. So if I look at my first example, which of these numbered sides should I put as my A, Olivia? So what is B, Riziki?
Three.
3, because A and B have to make that right angle. How do I know what my C is, Amelia?
It's 5 because
It's across from that right angle. So if I say A squared plus B squared equals C squared, if A is 4, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Is that true? What is 4 squared? Riziki?
16.
What is 3 squared? Amelia? 9. And what is 5 squared? Matthew? 25. 16 plus 9 is 25. What? It actually works.
That's crazy.
No way.
Let's check our next one. Shh. What should I call my A? James.
24.
So if 24 is A, what is my B?
7.
Ethan.
7.
So what is C? Amelia?
25.
25. And we know that that C is always directly across from our right angle. A and B join together to make the right angle. So now I'm going to use those numbers and put them in my formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So we're going to take our calculators out because I know my perfect squares. I love my perfect squares, but I don't know 24 and 25 squared. So 24 squared is what?
6,000.
24 squared is what?
6,000.
24 times 24? I am not getting 6,000.
You can also put 20.
I asked for us to take our calculators out so we can know the actual answer. So actually tell me, what is 24 squared? Do the math on your calculator. It is 24 times 24. What did you get, Nolan?
625.
For 24 times 24?
Oh, and I did 25.
What's 24 times 24, Luciana? 576.
Oh, yeah.
Plus 7 squared. That one I can do in my head. What is 7 squared?
7 times 7.
Which is what?
49.
49.
I did it.
And Nolan, do you remember what 25 squared was?
625.
625. So now we're going to see, is this true? Is 576 plus 49, does that equal 625?
Yes.
It does.
Wow, that actually works.
It does actually work. Mind blowing.
Wow.
It is crazy, but that is your way to check it, to make sure. Add the A and the B, it should equal the C if you're squaring them all. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Just like the slope is always rise over run, the Pythagorean theorem is always A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Get to know that theorem. You will use it for years to come. So let's see how we're going to use that to find missing side lengths. We're going to do the first one together. The directions are telling us that all 3 of these are right triangles. 2 of them tell us where that right angle is. Can we figure out where the right angle is on this one?
Yeah.
You can tell just by seeing, right? You know that right angle is going to make this shape because the directions say that it is a right angle, even though they didn't put the little box in, you know that's where the right angle is. It would not be one of those acute angles. So let's work on this first one together. I need my formula, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So first thing I have to do is find my A and my B. So then C has to be the one that's directly across from the right angle. So I'm going to say A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Wait, why would B be on the bottom?
Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
A and B together make our right angle. So we could call A5 and B12, or we could call B5 and A12. It doesn't matter. 5 plus 12, 12 plus 5, it works the same way. So what is 5 squared? What is 12 squared?
144.
That equals C squared. So what's 25 plus 144? 8 and 8.
169.
So 169 equals C squared. What is the answer? What is my missing side length? What do I do to find it, Riziki?
Actually, oh, you do 169 plus, wait, 169 times,
Isabel? Why would I divide by 2? Is C squared multiplied by 2?
No.
It is not. It is a square. What is the opposite operation of squaring something? What was that? Was that you that said that? Or is that Riziki?
Riziki said not squared.
What did you say? Close. What is unsquaring something? You would find the square root. There it is. So we have to find that square root of 169. Because if we have C squared and we find the square root of it, we're left with just the C. So what is the square root of 169? Do we remember how to find square roots on our calculator?
No.
So let's look at our calculator. Shh. In order to find the square root, you have to do the square root first. So you go to second, and then you go to where that square root symbol is. So I did the second button, and then that square root symbol is on the calculator. So I press the button right below it, and then I type in my number 169. I press equal. Is that what you got, Amelia?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the square root of 169 is 13. So C equals 13. So now I want to check my work. I have 25 plus 44. That's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If I square 13, 13 times 13, I will get 169. It's 25 plus 144 is 69. 13 squared is 69. Always double check. You find that square root, go back and say, did I do it correctly? Is 13 times 13 the number that I wanted the square root of? Luciana.
So would you say the answer is 13?
Yes. So the answer would be C equals 13. First of all, I'm recording, so we should not have side conversations happening. Second of all, it's extremely rude and disrespectful as I'm teaching for you not to be trying to learn. We're not doodling. Okay? We're focused and paying attention. You are going to do the last two on your own, solving for our missing side. On this, we have just the C's are the missing lengths. Sometimes you will have the C and an A or B, and you have to solve for A or B. That's when we do our opposite operations to get that variable by itself. We don't have to do that today, but that is coming. You will have to do that. Then you have to do your question on the bottom here. A rope is fastened to a tree 8 feet from the ground and then to a stake that is 6 feet away from the tree. How long is the rope? So in order to solve this, you need to sketch a diagram. So you draw your tree. That tree height is 8 feet, that rope. So let's say the rope is tied on that tree right there. From there to there, it's 8 feet. The stake is 6 feet away from the tree. So 6 feet away, we need to find out how long is the rope. So going straight down, straight across, that gives us our right angle. Then we're doing the same math that we've been doing. We're using that Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So when it says to sketch that diagram, you've got your tree, you've got your rope, the rope goes down, the rope goes down, and that stake is across. So when it says draw that diagram, it helps you to put all the pieces into place and you can see the triangle. Go ahead and work quietly. For those of you watching at home, we hope you are well, and we hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.